Hello, all my scoobers, and welcome back. I have been off this mic for at least a week and a half, if not longer. I was out of town. I went to my 20-year high school reunion. That's how old I'm getting. Had a great time, took a few pictures. No GoPro footage of that. Not everything I do needs to make it online. You know what I mean. Although somebody there did have a whole handful of Clemson championship and bowl game rings, so maybe I'll flash up a picture of that. But anyway, before that, I did some diving, and now I'm finally getting around to talking about it. So, as per usual, what you have in front of you here is the dive profile. I suppose I should say where we went. We went to Pennyroyal quarry in Hopkinsville, somewhere Kentucky. I don't know. It's actually my second time going there. It's really nice. The facilities aren't the most quantifiable. What I'm saying is, unless you get there apparently at like 5:30 a.m., you're not getting a table. And it's been that way the two times I've been there now. But we met at work. We actually, some other members of my group were awesome enough, and they brought a canopy and a kind of a tarp. And we kind of used other people's tables while they were out away in the water. So it ended up working out just fine, which is better than the last time. It's kind of down a steep hill, and the last time we were here, it was like Women's Dive Day or something, and it was super crowded. And we were, like hauling our gear up and down the hill. It was not a great experience. Today was better, or this time was better, but still, it would be nice if they could just put a few more tables around somewhere. I don't know where. It is crowded. But anyway, what you got in front of you here is the dive profile. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. It starts out pretty deep. I think I got down to, well, what does it say? Oh, I don't even have the summary up. Took the wrong screenshot, but we're not going to go back now. So yeah, it goes down to about, I think 77, 78 feet was my max depth. And you can see it got chilly down there. A balmy 54 degrees. But considering the heat of Kentucky July summer, it felt pretty good. So, all right, I'm going to show you the map next to show you the very adventurous path we took before jumping into the footage. All right, here is the map of Pennyroyal Quarry. Just off the bat, it is quite a bit larger than Mermet. So just kind of give you an idea here. So these are the kind of tables where you set up your gear. There's a few back here, and that's it. In that regard, there's not a whole lot there, and it fills up quick. This hill up here is a lot steeper than it looks like on the map. So, you kind of park in here. If you can get, this is kind of lower level parking. This is very much upper level parking. In fact, one thing they do, they have ATVs that drive around and take your air tanks and drive them up the hill and get them filled for you, so you don't have to walk those suckers up the hill, which is nice. But our dive started right here where these two folks are hanging out. And we went down and kind of went this way where these two folks are swimming. Did we get to number 48? What is 48? Fire truck at 40 feet. That sounds likely. So we probably hit that. And we did not follow this rope. We did not follow this rope. Instead, we took a Yui. And right back to where we started. And on up. So, trust me, it was a longer dive than it looks like on the map. That's just kind of a sense of how big this place is. Next time, I would love to try to check out maybe some of these, but that's going to be a really big surface swim, so I don't know. And if you look over there, these are pretty deep. So 54 is 115 feet down, and we're probably not doing that. 43, Little Forest, 53, that's a 60, what does that say, 65, that's doable. yeah, the surface swim here would just be unbearable. So maybe next time. But all right. Oh, I wanted to flash up a few pictures of the quarry just to give you a quick idea of what it looked like. And then we're going to get into all the awesome things that we saw underwater. Stay tuned. All right, here we are with pictures and videos of the quarry. This was right outside the car. Stepped out to go register, and, you know, don't step out too far. That is straight down, and there are no handrails. Yeah, it's pretty far away down, 50, 60 feet maybe, just total guess. So right below me here is where that one of those sunken cars was at like 95 feet that I said would be a huge surface swim. So that's kind of this corner of the quarry. These were further down the hill. So right around the corner to the right there is where the last picture was taken, up above the hill. And this is just kind of overlooking parts of the quarry that nobody goes to. And that's kind of straight ahead, and you can see the cliff in the back there. So this is now where everybody goes diving. So you can see the dock for entry and exit. And in the back there where the watercolor changes, that's the shallow part. That's where our second dive was. That's where everybody is. The visibility was terrible. There's classes there today, I think. You know, everything gets kicked up. First dive was pretty good visibility down in the cold water. That's where you usually have to go to, you know, avoid the riffraff. And in addition to the dock, they have this pretty nice just walk right in feature, I'll call it. That slab gets maybe a little slick with algae, so you do need to be careful, but easy entry. So you can see the fall off on the right there. That's where we did our first dive, and straight down is about 80 feet. That's where we went. So I think the next one is a video. Yep. Didn't quite hear what Tom said there. So these are my dive buddies for the day. That's Terry on the left, Tom on the right. If you are a frequent listener or watcher of my dives, then you are familiar with them. So these are bluegill, I think. I don't know my fish that well, but they are very voracious bluegill. In fact, they bit my buddy Terry on his lip and drew some blood on the way back. So watch out for the bluegill and Pennyroyal. They'll get you. Look at that one. He's coming after me. I didn't know they had the kind of strength or mouth parts to break your skin, but apparently they do. So it was kind of funny on the way back. You'll see it. They were very interested in us. I don't know what they think they're getting, but maybe they eat neoprene or something. I don't know. Tom actually, so we were gearing up to come do this dive, and Tom was putting on part of his wetsuit, and the zipper snapped. So there he is. We couldn't find him there for a second. So we kind of planned that Tom would hang above the cold stuff, while Terry and I would venture down deep into it. Tom was just kind of bob up and down, you know, get in the cold until he couldn't take it anymore and come back to the top. He actually managed to fix his wetsuit zipper, which blew my mind. I didn't know that was possible. I just don't have patience with zippers, I guess. Although the very first wetsuit I ever got was given to me by someone in the dive club, and I don't know what happened. It got stuck, and I got frustrated and, you know, kind of yanked it, and it just ripped apart. And yep, gotta get some yellow sauce in there. Yeah, you're gonna notice I turn the camera around a lot during these dives. The reason for that, I'm not that narcissistic. It's it stopped beeping. I don't know. GoPro, I have it set for the loudest beeps it can possibly do when I start and stop the film, and I listen for those when I'm diving to know, you know, if I've started or stopped a recording. because I get confused with that all the time. And for some reason or another, either they were too quiet, I couldn't hear them, or something got bonked in the camera settings. So this dive, I didn't hear any beeps. I got back onto the surface, turned it on, went to the settings with the beeps. They were beeping, I could hear it, everything was good. Got back in the water for the second dive, couldn't hear a beep. So I don't know if something changed, or something went wrong between turning it on and off, but yeah, that's why I'm constantly flipping the camera around, looking at it to see if it's recording or not. Although now that I've said that, there's a LED in the back that flashes when it's recording, so I could look at that, but there's a front screen on it that leaves no doubt. You can tell very quickly, so that's why I flipped it around so much. I think I started coughing here, or did that already happen? I don't have the, can I turn this volume down just a bit? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I just got really dry throat or something. I just got in one of those states where you like couldn't swallow, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I was just coughing. Really, I was freaking out just a little bit. Yeah, there we go, 73 feet down. Yeah, you do something like that. It's never happened to me, but you know, if you ever puke underwater, you make sure you keep that regulated in your mouth. You know, your tendency might be to pull stuff out of your mouth when you're doing stuff like that, coughing, puking, whatnot. But no, that's a huge no-no underwater, obviously. I've been told you just puke right in your regulator. It's fine. It's not going to hurt it. The fish will love you. But, knock on wood, I have never enjoyed that experience. Yeah, every time I see this, I think it's a gun safe, and it's not. It is a refrigerator. Right? Yes. And it looks kind of undisturbed, honestly. Like, is nobody else opening up this door and pulling these cans out? They are all covered in muck. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't take long to collect that stuff, but I feel like these cans should be a little cleaner than that. Little monster there, and we got, what do we got here? Diet Pepsi from 1994. All right. Very nice. Oh man, I feel like I was talking about something. I do that. I go off on these tangents and then I forget where I was and can't circle back around. I have no idea what this thing was. Not super exciting though. What is this? Does anybody know what this is? That's the other thing about Pennyroyal map. There's a lot, well, Pennyroyal in general, there's a lot more stuff sunk down here than what they have on the map. I don't know why that is, especially in this particular area. If you look in the shallow part of the map, they got freaking dozens of numbers, you know, for everything. And then you get down to this part of it and there's just like nothing labeled. I don't know why. You see Terry's light flickering there, so that actually was happening. That's not an effect of the camera. Yeah, we got back to the surface and looked at the battery, and the battery was just a touch corroded on one of the ends. And he borrowed battery from his wife. They were at 67 feet, almost 1950 air left. And that worked great the second dive, so yeah, I think it was probably corrosion on the battery. At least I hope so. I had a problem with my light this dive too. We both have the same, not the exact same light, but it's from the same company and they're pretty high quality. So the fact that we had trouble with both of them kind of together on the same dive is kind of like, what? But mine, I don't think it's happened yet, but mine got stuck in spotlight mode and I couldn't turn it off. I couldn't change it out of spotlight mode. It's like the button became completely unresponsive. It was stuck on. I couldn't change the mode, couldn't turn it off. That's never happened to me before. I don't know what's going on. But as soon as I got to a little shallower depth, it started working again. So I don't know if it was a depth thing, temperature thing, or just a flat out software bug. But yeah, I can't complain much about my light. I've had it for years now. It is on the higher quality side. It's a Big Blue something. I don't have it in front of me. Yeah, it's a VLP 3800 maybe. Don't take my word on that. But it's got the floodlight. It's supposed to be for like video. It's from what I remember, it's kind of the lower tier of before the lights started getting really expensive. And just like anything else with diving, you can spend thousands of dollars on a dive light if you want, you know. Yeah, here we go. So I think I'm trying to, I'm pushing the button here and nothing's happening, and I'm just like, what the f is going on here? Yeah, so Terry, Tom, I apologize if I shine my light in your eyes. I couldn't turn it off. But yeah, once I got to a shallower depth, it started working again, and I think it was fine the next dive, so I don't know. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, I've had it for years. It's been very good to me, so if it's on its way out, then I don't know. Maybe that's par for the course. I don't know. But I don't think it was leaking. It seemed all dry inside to me. And like I said, I went on 3 dives after this, didn't have a single problem with it, so who knows? Blame the software folks. I think it's probably a software bug. Alright, software. I'm allowed to say that. I'm allowed to rag on the software engineers. Here we go. We got some boat with a bow hatch. Is that what you call that? Really, what is the point of that? You can't get to it from inside the boat. What is the point of that? Storage area for outside? I don't know. Boat people, talk to me. For dock. Alright, I don't know what that one is. Where are we looking here? Oh. You know, I think, yeah. Maybe the crud does get piled on here pretty quickly. Yeah, there we go. What are we writing here? Oh, putting a Liano on the side of this boat. There it is. For Yano Dock. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Just put a little sauce under that and it'll be branded right up for the video. Got a little shopping cart here. Thought I'd do some groceries. Do some grocery shopping. Nope. Telephone booth captured my attention instead, I think. Did I check this out? Oh, I guess I did. Thought I went straight for the telephone booth. What is down there? Oh, I see some wheels. I didn't see those while I was diving. Or some kind of tires, maybe? I don't know. Really? I went over there and didn't even look at what any of that stuff was. I was tempted. The 10 cents long distance call got me. I was, uh-oh. Calling the operator. Tank, get me out of here. I hope you enjoyed my Matrix extraction scene there. I'm going to try to edit. I do not remember what I said into that telephone. Couldn't have been that important. Got another boat here. Just totally open. See what these boats normally look like? They're missing some chairs. I got friends with boats. I don't have a boat. I think that one's missing a few chairs. You see my light is still stuck in spotlight mode. These dives are good. It was good to go to a new place. You know, I go to Mermet all the time, and we went to Mermet the next day. So this was a weekend dive trip we did. We drove down to Mermet on Friday afternoon / evening. Stayed at a hotel around there. Then got up early Saturday morning, drove the rest of the way here, which was 2 hours, I think. I think it was a 2-hour trip from Metropolis, Illinois. I did 2 dives here, drove back to Mermed area, to Metropolis. Went to Fat Ed's, which is a staple of Metropolis, Illinois. You guys ever find yourself in Metropolis, Illinois, make sure you go to Fat Ed's. Yeah, and then that's right where Mermed is, so we went diving at Mermed 2 times, and then called it a weekend, and went back to our separate ways. Went on our separate ways. So this is a little far, probably like 4 hours total. More than that, probably closer to 5 from where I live. Splitting up the trip really helped. And then I rode with Tom on the second leg. That definitely helped too. Yeah, Mermed's great, but you know, there's other things to see out there. Yeah, let's turn that camera around. Oh, yeah. Hang loose. Coming at you. Yep. 33 feet, so we're definitely on the way back at this point. I don't know what this is. Boy, that's really covered in crud. You bring somebody down here with a brush, scrape this sucker off. I demand my diving points of interest to be clean. Yeah, you can tell just that. So we're still in that little section of the map I pointed out earlier. So it should give you a sense of kind of how big this is. And I don't. Maybe there's a ton of stuff in that open area that's not labeled, because there is in this section of it. But it looks like there's huge swaths of the quarry that just got nothing. So I wonder if they're planning that for future expansion, or if they just want to keep it all au natural. Oh, flip it around again. I promise you that's because I don't know if it's still recording. Confirming my suspicions on whether it's still recording or not. Yeah, I gotta get some new gloves. My gloves are starting to fall apart, and I'm pretty disappointed in that. I spent decent money on those gloves. Oh, here we go with the skeleton. He's got a machete. Skeleton doing the machete. Oh, pirate skeleton. Looks like he was chasing some treasure and the crew couldn't save him. I don't know. It's a cool touch though. I do like the skeleton there. Yeah, I got some gloves. Man, I can't remember what kind they are now. They're really hard to get on, first of all. And they fell apart more quickly than I would have liked, considering I think I spent close to $80-$100 on them, something like that. And the hand part is fine. There's like a different layer of neoprene for the wrist part, and that's what's just disintegrating, falling out. And so, you know, I basically have no insulation on my wrist now, and the cold water, you know, rushes into your hand easier that way. I think a lot of that is due to me just yanking so hard to get them on and off. So next pair of gloves I get, I think I'm going to want zippers or Velcro straps or something that makes it easier to get them on and off. I did discover the magic of soapy water, which does make it easier to put them on. But this trip, in fact, I had my soapy water bottle up on a ledge or up on a railing for one of the tables, and it got knocked off, and the head broke. So it's always something, right? So I have yet to replace the spray head on that soapy water bottle. And the next day, Mermet, getting gloves on was 6 times more challenging than it should have been. Yeah, we're still we're going strong here on this dive. I got to figure out where I'm at. You know, I think there's still quite a few left. You go away. Where are we at? 729. Oh yeah, we got at least 10 to go. Man, was it this dive? I think it was this one. Maybe we'll see him here. So there was a lot of scooter action on this dive, or in this quarry. You know, people with those motorized scooters that zip around, and yeah, there was a couple of people that went right under us, and I didn't have my camera on. I was like, oh man, I missed it. And then like 5 minutes later, here come 3 more people with the scooters. Those things would scare me, man. I don't know. Well, yeah, we're getting shallow now. You can see the fish. I've used one once. Somebody brought one on a houseboat dive trip I was on. I hope she's not watching. I got the feeling it wasn't the best quality one out there. I don't know. I'm kind of a bigger guy. I turned that thing on. I don't feel like it's doing anything. It wasn't taking me anywhere. I don't think it quite has the horsepower to haul this guy around. I don't know. The ones I saw here were a lot bigger. They looked better. You know, I don't know. I don't know anything about them. But if I actually had a decent one of those or something, I'd be kind of scared because I have trouble equalizing my ears. And man, if that thing got pointed in the wrong direction, I'd be blowing out eardrums before I knew what was going on. I guess if you learn to control it better than that, it could be kind of cool, but I don't know. That hasn't really appealed to me. In current, it could be useful for sure. But yeah, I don't know. There's only maybe 2 times I've probably been like, man, I wish I had a scooter right now. And those, and all the times I have in mind are fighting ocean currents, so for a place like this, nah, oh, watch out, shark from below. It's coming to get us. Yeah, I kind of deviated. I barely saw this thing as we were swimming back. I'm like, alright, I gotta go down and check this thing out. So. I think this is somewhere between the warm and cold water. Look at that, no teeth. You guys ever seen a shark with no teeth before? It's supposed to be a very friendly shark. I put my hand in its mouth like, oh, nope, still scared to do that. Yeah. Here comes Terry. Terry don't care. He's gonna give that shark a dental checkup. Checking for strep throat in the back of that shark's mouth. Good job, Terry. That was nice. All right. Yeah, there's the van. So I think that's a van we saw earlier down there. I did not see the shark on the way out. Yeah, it's got to be that van. But we did catch it on the way in. And then here's an example of the cool physics underwater. Things just kind of float. Barely heavier than the water. And I was just like, nah, not even gonna touch it. It's just gonna explode and create the muck. But yeah, you can see it's pretty good visibility here for you know, inland, not Caribbean quarry. Just wait till we get to the second dive. It was very much worse than this. This is cool. I always do like seeing the stream of bubbles from below. And yeah, I don't know why some of them kind of stick together like that, and why some of them are just long streams of tiny bubbles. I put the, yeah, you can see, I'll put a freeze frame there. You can see a reflection of my camera there pretty good right before it smacked through. Yeah, I don't know what the different bubbles are. They always kind of bring up the cold water too, though. If you're ever sitting on the surface and somebody is in deeper cold water breathing bubbles up, you definitely feel the cold water coming up and get you. It gets your attention for sure. Yeah, okay, we're getting towards the end here. Here are the fish that are just constantly nipping at you. So I think these are bluegill. And I was having a good time. I guess they were kind of behind me too. I don't know. Obviously, I couldn't really see behind myself. So I was just filming them nip at Terry and Tom the whole time. Somebody in the second dive, I think you'll see it. You know, people paint things and draw pictures on the stuff underwater, and somebody was like, they drew a picture of one of these fish and labeled it piranha bluegill, I think. Yeah. Hey there, fishy fella. Don't you go chomping on me. See, they're very interested in Tom's tank. Maybe they like the black paint. I don't know. I really don't know what they're going after, but maybe it's all mental. They think they're eating something. I don't know. All the divers, maybe they've evolved quickly to learn to survive on neoprene. I don't know. But you'll see it in the... oh, there's a rare shot of me. Alright. So the fish were nipping on me a little bit. That's probably what I was trying to capture. Yeah, you'll see it in the next video. Oh, I'm scared of the bubbles. Big time fish breeding season, I think. I think there were tons of fish nests down there, like not very deep. They're all on the other side of the wall, so these fish are taking a break from that stuff, I guess. I don't know. We're probably like 10 feet, maybe 15 feet down. Just tons of fish. Looks like a lot of them had hollowed out little basins in the seafloor there, and maybe even brought in rocks, although some of these rocks were bigger than what you'd think these fish could handle, so I don't know how that worked. Maybe they're under the silt and sand, the fish just fan all the sand away and then leaving the exposed rocks, or I don't know, maybe they got some superhuman, super fishy skills, strength skills that I don't know about. Power. That's it for this one. Listen to Terry here.
This fish bit my mouth on the way up. Like bluegill went after my mouth on the way up. Yeah, they see bubbles, I think they go after that. Oh, is that what it is?